Hey everybody, Coltrane here. So, patch 1.1.1 dropped yesterday for Diablo 4. And yeah, I'm actually kind of impressed, believe it or not, with the patch. At first I wasn't. I kind of went into it a little skeptical, not super excited because, we'd already seen the notes and I really didn't think a whole lot was going to change. Um, and like I got on the game yesterday after the patch dropped. I played for about an hour, and then I got off the game and went and played Baldur's Gate 3 for a few hours. And that wasn't a very good sign to me. And so after getting off Baldur's Gate, I was like, you know what? Let me get back on Diablo 4. Let me give it an actual fair shake. Let me play the patch. Let me see what's going on here. And I decided to make a video just kind of talking about the positives of the patch. I know, crazy, right? A positive video about Diablo 4. So yeah, I was just gonna go over a few of those things that I noticed when I was playing, and some thoughts that I have. And look, I even did up a notepad so I can keep my thoughts a little concise here. Crazy. So positives of the patch. Okay, density changes. Awesome. They feel very good. I mean, not having to go for super long periods of time through a dungeon and not see a mob is just great. It's fantastic. Could still be a little better, but that's okay. I mean, it's a step in the right direction, right? And with more mobs comes more loot, and the more loot actually is noticeable. Like I've gone through dungeons. Typically now, when I go through a nightmare dungeon, I'm just picking up ancestrals and legendaries, and if unique drops, what have you. And typically, one nightmare dungeon kind of fills my inventory, and I need to go back to town, and I need to, salvage, pick through the junk, what have you, things like that. But yeah, I mean, overall, I think the density changes are really good, especially in Helltide as well. Like, it feels way easier to collect your 250 cinders, get your box. I feel more inclined to actually try to get 2 boxes per Helltide, sometimes even more. Um, so yeah, overall good change on the density. Good job on that one. Guaranteed legendary drops. Again, I mean, it feels very good. More loot is always nice. I've noticed, I'm getting more legendaries every time I kill a boss. I get the legendary, and I've also noticed that this pertains to like bosses in like a Helltide and stuff too, like during the portal worship event, and then that other one with the big tornado thing. Um, so yeah, I mean they always drop guaranteed legendaries now too. Killing a treasure goblin feels good because you're going to get a legendary at least. And also, I mean, someone correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but as far as I'm aware, whenever there is a guaranteed legendary drop, that means that legendary also has a chance to be unique. So again, more loot, more guaranteed legendaries, more chances at uniques. Not a bad thing. Class buffs. You know, I was very skeptical on the changes for Barb from the patches, but after playing Barb a fair amount yesterday, testing a few different things, Barb actually does feel better overall. Um, is it enough? Like I'm not so sure. Now I was playing around. There is like apparently a really crazy interaction right now between aspect of Berserk Ripping and the Barber, doing like insane amounts of bleed damage, especially to things like Uber Lilith. So I was messing around with that, and I actually was having really good results, even with something like Whirlwind on Uber Lilith using that interaction. Now, hopefully that's intended, and they don't just nerf it into the ground. I don't know. We'll see. Um, Shadow Necro buffs feel good as well. I mean, again, I'm a Barbarian main. I also play a Necro though, so those are the two main classes that I ever do stuff on. So my mileage may be a little varied when it comes to the class buffs. I don't think anything actually got nerfed though for anybody, so I mean that's always good. Um, but yeah, I mean Barb felt pretty good, It actually kind of made me want to roll up a new barb and just level it and see how the leveling experience feels now. But I don't know if I'm gonna go. I don't know if I'm gonna go quite that far with it. Um, but yeah, good stuff. Honestly, overall, with the class buffs, it actually kind of makes me want to play a Sork as well, and I don't normally gravitate towards that at all. So I might even give Sork a go. So the next thing, XP overall feels a lot better. You know, there's more mobs because the density changes, so there's more XP. And I actually was leveling noticeably faster doing my nightmare dungeons. With the density changes, the XP change, all that. So that felt really good. So that should help a lot of people get into, you know, the high end level a lot faster, a lot easier. Because I know a lot of people were kind of having issues with that. So things I actually would like to see moving forward with the game, hopefully sooner rather than later. I mean, the first thing has to be, as a barbarian main, just please revisit the barbarians paragon boards, their skill tree, the aspects of the uniques. Just please revisit the class as a whole and kind of take a look at it. I have a video talking about wondering if the devs even play barbarian at all, and it would be nice to see them actually take a look at some of the core fundamental issues the class has, really, especially compared to other classes. I would love to see that. So in that same train of thought, double swing got buffed, uh, but me personally, I don't really like the playstyle of double swing. I know it's fucking cranking out crazy numbers right now. It's doing really well, but I would just love to see the other builds being made more viable for endgame content. Again, I'm a barbarian main, so my bias is going to be towards the barbarian class. It's just how it is. Honestly, another thing I would like to see is just take more risks with items, especially uniques. I mean, you have so much potential in the form of uniques. Look at unique items from Diablo 2 as a good example of unique itemization done amazingly well. There's just so many cool interactions you can do with gear, so many cool builds you were able to do with gear that just took your build to the next level. Name like one thing that I can think of that, I mean, everyone that's familiar with the play D2 Enigma. Especially if you were a summoner necro and you could just teleport your army into battle. That was so cool. And they just had so many unique items like that. And I don't necessarily mean like, oh, we need rune words in D4. No, we just need more exciting items. Another example I can give that I've given in another video, like for Barb specifically, would be like the boots that do the foot stomps. Don't restrict it with the internal cooldown. Just make it so you're just going around just foot stomping constantly, dropping earthquakes, doing cool shit, man. There's just so much potential in the form of unique items, and I shouldn't have to play like either a druid or a necro to feel good when a unique item drops. So just that, I think that would be really cool. That would go a long way. And in that same train of thought with the uniques, please bring back item target farming in Helltide specifically. And the Trio Whisperers, honestly, like bring back item target farming so we can go so we feel incentivized to go to the Helltide. We feel incentivized to do the Trio Whispers. Add uniques to the Trio Whispers pool. I hate that they advertised a lot of stuff like for this game. It was like, oh, you're gonna be able to do the Tree of Whispers and you can pick your reward, or you can go to Helltide and you can choose your reward by opening a certain box. Oh, but by the way, you can't target farm uniques from it. So honestly, like, then what's the point? Like, bring back item target farming, please. And then also in that same train of thought, make other content in the game more appealing to do, to make people more willing to do it as opposed to just spamming Nightmare Dungeons all day. Nightmare Dungeons are great. Nightmare Dungeons are in an amazing spot right now. Great XP, great density, better loot, level your glyphs. But here's the problem. They're too good. They kind of make the other content in the game obsolete. There's not much point in doing it. And I don't think that means, oh god, we should nerf Nightmare Dungeons back down. No. Leave Nightmare Dungeons where they're at. They are great right now. Thank you. make the other content more appealing. Make the other content more rewarding to do. Make it so I want to leave my Nightmare Dungeon to go do a Helltide. Make it so I want to take a break from my Nightmare Dungeons to go do tree bounties. I mean, just do something to make your open world, this world that you were so proud of. I mean, Blizzard hyped this up. Explore the open world. Choose the adventure you want to do. Yada yada yada. Right? And then they just hamstring it. They make it not that appealing to do over just spamming Nightmare Dungeons, like reward wise. So I mean that's pretty much it, guys. Like I overall, like I said, I went into the patch feeling kind of iffy on it. Um, but after I've gotten to play it a decent amount, I think it's a good patch. It's definitely a step in the right direction. It feels better in dungeons. The density is great. Like I said, the leveling feels better. My main class Barb doesn't feel like it's completely dead in the water. It's doing really good. I would. There's just a few more things that need to happen to get us going even more so in the right direction. Get us going there a bit. But overall, I think the patch is great. Is it saving the game? I mean, no. I mean, if you weren't gonna really want to play the game that much, I don't think this patch is gonna like quote unquote save the game for you. But it's definitely, as I said, a step in the right direction. The game is getting better. The game. Like I am positive that the game is going to be great at some point, and we're getting there. And hopefully, we get there a lot sooner than rather than later. So I mean that's about all I've got on it for now, guys. Um, feel free to come check me out over on my Twitch channel. I stream there pretty much every day. I stream primarily Diablo 4 right now. I have been streaming some Baldur's Gate 3, and I am going to be doing a Friday afternoon / night D&D group, just with some of my mods and me every Friday on Baldur's Gate, and that'll be a lot of fun. Please feel free to come and hang out, watch that. We're just going to be goofing off, maybe drinking a little bit and playing some Baldur's Gate. And yeah, I'm going to have a link for the Twitch channel in the description, but it is twitch.tv DA_Cole_train. And that's it for me, guys. So I hope to see you in the next video. Hope to see you on my stream. All right, take care. Peace.